Hi y'all. What's up y'all? How everybody doing? Shout out to everybody in the chat with a thumb chat. And we're gonna let everybody come in so they can get some of this tea. Cause y'all know what? It's true. It's true. What we all thought it was in the beginning. Yes. We're gonna put this all together. Disclaimer: Fair Use Act, education purpose use only. All rights, image, clips, and other material belong to their prospective owner, and we do not claim ownership. Now check this out. This was really going on. I'm finna break every piece of this down. Gotta start off way before Kenneka even showed up, right? Hold on, y'all. Let me mute my fix my mic. All right. Now y'all see this screen right here? Before I start from the beginning, right? Now, y'all know this is an exit door right here. It's an exit sign on this door. We see the freight elevators. Now we see a water bottle that been sitting right here, right? And it's a bench right in front of this door right here. You can't pull the door from the outside, but you can push this door open. It will be locked from the outside, but if you push this, you can, you know what I'm saying, go outside. Now look, this is upstairs. This finna be very important to the case because this is upstairs, right? Right here. And where this is located, I'm finna show it to you. Once you go down here to the layout, right here, this the front office. Boom, boom, boom. You can cut through here, and here go two freight elevators, right? Don't never talk about these two elevators like they don't exist. And guess where these elevators, you see where the elevator located at, and you see where they taking things to and use it. And you see they got to come out the ballroom with this stuff. That's why you see tables, chairs, and all of this. Cause you know you got a big ballroom, right? You see that? Big ballroom. Now, and if you look right here, you have stairs. Stairs. Right here. You got one stairs right here, right? So this gonna be like right here. So this gonna be this elevator with the stairs. Boom, gets off on the elevator, they go to stairs. Can we all agree with that, right? We all agree with that, right? Now, where's this freight elevator at? It's right here. Same thing. Here go the stairs, and that leads straight to the ballroom. Right here, cause this the ballroom. When you see this door open up right here, you can actually see the ballroom. So you would have the stairs right here. Can we agree? They go to stairs again. And these one of these stairs that you can take, you know what I'm saying, like this in the circling pattern, go down. You did, cause these stairs only go down. They don't go up. They only go down. Now look, here go another interesting part about this. Since we got a clear view of what's going on, guess what else right here, y'all? Guess what else gonna be right here? Let's go to the layout. Boo, y'all. Same ballroom. And it's a kitchen. In this area. A kitchen. All right. So there's a kitchen. So this where I'm finna get at. Cause y'all remember the video that I put together. I just put this video together, right? Let me stop this video. Let me go to this video. Y'all see this video right here? I just recently dropped this video 4 days ago, right? And watch me finna break this down. This whole video. Pay attention. Everybody heard Leonora's story. Everybody heard her hair. How was her hair when she left out the hotel? Everybody like, what you mean she left out the hotel? We caught that. Even Miss Teresa made a post about it. How did Kenneka end up back in Crown Plaza Hotel? We caught that. So we know at some point in time, she's going to be outside. What time this would actually would be? Round 1 something in the morning, right? 1 something in the morning. Now, this what they finna cover up right here. This what they this how they pulled this off. Now, remind y'all, you heard everything that came out of Leonora's story in all her interviews. This what everybody, when you heard her, when she say things like, how did Kenneka end up in the freezer room? Wait a minute. You said freezer room? I know where the freezer room at. The freezer room is going to be right here. Right here. Right on the side of this freezer, right? So when you go to the footage where everybody was standing there right here in the pool, when I said, look, y'all, when these people were standing right here, going out these doors and walking down these halls, and they were going this way, and you already had people in the pool area, and if you didn't see these people in the parking lot, where they went to? It's a door right here. You could easily just walk here and go through this door, you right to the freezer. All right, check this out. Keep this in mind. Everything what Leonora said, everything what Miss Teresa said, it's a camera above the freezer. Downstairs it is, not upstairs. Leonora gonna, you know what? Put it like this. I'm finna do it like this, y'all. Hold on, let me just play the video and watch this.
Straight down. And when I saw it looking like it was just all over her head, it didn't add up.
I'm gonna tell you why it don't add up, but it's finna add up because it's a video of them actually putting their hands on Kenneka Jenkins. That's why she mentioned it. That's why she mentioned her hair all over her head like that. Now keep that in mind. Miss Teresa said they even had soap and water on her head. put those two and two together, right? Soap and water on her hair. And she saying that her hair was all over her head. And we didn't see nothing from the neck on up. But Miss Teresa Miss Teresa said Kenneka was in the body bag already. She ain't even mentioned her hair all over her head no more. None of this was living over and was saying in the beginning, right? It's the reason why they not saying this no more, because it's actually proof of a video who actually unlived her and who told them how to do this. So watch this.
It didn't add up.
Were you the one who spoke with your sister at about 1:30 the night before on Saturday morning? Or no? One of your family members spoke with her at 1:30, right?
No, I know she left house at 11:30.
All right, avoiding the question. Then you said, no, I didn't talk to her, but you caught on the phone with Kenneka phone. Now, guess what time this is going to be? Round one some. Now, look, I'm finna break down one some. When Irene went live, round one some. What day though? September the 6th. The actually true September the 6th, round one some. So that's when you get Irene live video. Not on the 6th. That's going to be a video everybody recorded in the room on the 6th. That's why you don't have the full video. Nobody ain't going live for no 6 and 4 minutes. Let's be real. So you know what time this was. They actually went live on the 6th. So now look, on the 6th, early that morning, round one something, that's when you put, you know what I'm saying, Friend's Cave narrative, how she came out the room. Because keep this in mind, she gonna be on the 11th floor. Watch this. 11th floor, September the 6th, one something in the morning, making her way outside to the parking lot. Think about what Miss Teresa said. Boom. How did she get back in the Crown Plaza Hotel? So she got some knowledge her daughter was outside. Then think about what she said. Lenora, her hair was all over her head. And Miss Teresa said, yeah, it was soap and water on there too. Do that sound like a cover up into that? Like if you bust somebody's head? Because the sink is going to be right there in the area, in the kitchen, right? Okay, watch this.
On Friday.
Yeah.
But Saturday morning, there was a report that somebody spoke with her, at least knew that she was alive at 1:30 on Saturday morning. Is there any confirmation that you know of from that? Okay.
She lied, because on September the 9th, that's when they was going along with the story. Hey, we need to have everybody still think Kenneka still alive inside a room. Not even room 926. Because nobody said nothing about the room number in the beginning but Irene, room 926. And they acted dumb like they didn't know what room she was in. Keep that in mind. So why is they coming up for one something in the morning? Fabricating that Kenneka still alive, because what happened on the 6th, right? So check this out. Let's rewind it. Go back to the 6th. Miss Teresa made a post, a live video, September 6th, round about 8 and 9 o'clock, I believe, that night, right? Round about 8 and 9 o'clock. September 6th, going on the 7th. She said she finna be rich and the plan finna go perfectly fine tomorrow. Meaning that when you go back to the surveillance footage on the 7th, guess who you see booking the room? The gay dude and Shaquilla Watkins, right? Boom. And another gay boy that's gonna be with them that nobody don't talk about on the footage. So boom. Now you got them booking the room on the 7th. All right. Let's rewind it. Boom. Go back to the 6th. At 1:36 p.m., Miss Teresa will have a pocket ticket. Meaning that Miss Teresa was showed up around 1:36 in the parking lot. And whatever happened after that, we won't know. But we can speculate. You meeting up with the police, the staff members, and now y'all got 36 hours to cover up this crime. So if you sold her in my Miss Teresa voice, that's where Kenneka went to the organ harvesting people. I mean, the blood bank people. Oh, Jesus. Oh, God. In my recent voice, right? So if you sold her to the harvesting people, right, you gotta tell the public a narrative. So if you sold her and y'all was at the hotel, right, and you set her up, and you gotta explain to the public and give us something to feed off of. So you in the hotel or the party, allegedly a family gathering, in my 911 Mr. Risa called, Kenneka with her at a gathering with her friends and exit the family part out about this. So now look. So on September the 6th, round 1 something in the morning, that's when they're going to be having these girls. Look, that's why our room said room 926. So maybe they left from the 11th floor and went to room 926, and probably all thing hell broke loose. Because remind y'all, it's going to be videos in the phone. So boom, at some point around between 1 in the morning going on 2 o'clock, the plan was in motion. So boom, once they unalive her and did what they did to her, that's when the organ trafficking people. Now you thinking about a surgery. Think about, okay, boom, you got her down there 2 some in the morning. What time they start the operation? Would they be done before the first shift? In the middle of the first shift. You see what I'm saying? So now look. Boom. Now the question is, when Miss Teresa showed up at the pocket spot at 136 and a couple of cars deep, cause Smacks is following her, you know what I'm saying? He got a pocket ticket for 1:37 p.m. So he right behind Miss Teresa as they getting a pocket ticket. So they know the girl gonna be deceived. So what they would be doing? Cooperating with the police and the goddamn staff to come up with a narrative. So boom, you got to tell us something. So guess what they came up with? They came up and actually told you, Kenneka was in the room. Yeah, she showed up, but told y'all this was on the night. But look, so now we rolling on in the 7. They done book room 926. Allegedly. Right? Check this out. You heard room 926, according to the paperwork, it was booked on the 6th. On the 7th, right? But you heard a video in Irene Live talking about room 926. So the police didn't want to tell y'all who was in the room before 926. And that's the reason why they had to book it again up under a fraudulent credit card. Because now they done cleaned the room. You see what I'm saying? Cleaned the room up, got rid of the evidence, then booked the room 926 on the 7th going on that night. And everybody's job is to show up September the 8th going on the 9th. Just go in the room, chill, drink your alcohol, do your dope, whatever you're going to do. Just keep the noise down. So boom, while that would be going on September the 9th, round 1 some, because that's the cover up part for what happened to September the 6th. So boom, this what they really will be covering up, because while they got us distracted with this on September 9th, like, did you contact your sister at 1 something in the morning? Nope, because they were fabricating on the phone. You can't contact nobody that she already deceased. My best guess is what they were actually doing. Lenore was downstairs, making her way downstairs. Miss Teresa would be already downstairs with the police. But keep this in mind, she was already there September the 6th, 1:36 p.m. You know what I'm talking about? So look how many times that Miss Teresa will be up there. They got 36 hours. So as they came up to an agreement, that's when you see everybody showing up. Watch this. Now you got everybody will be showing up, right? Boom. She with family. Check this out. Watch this. She gonna be with family. It's gonna be a family member damn near in each group. Then look, make it so bad, she related to the Martin family, Irene Roberts. I don't even believe that's what it say on her driving license. You see what I'm saying? I believe her name is kind of different from everybody else. You see what I'm saying? But she is a relative. Now look, boom, everybody gonna come in, but look how everybody, when they came in, she was about to go down on the lower level. They came in, they were going to the kitchen. You see what I'm saying? Because this is where she gonna be at. These people came from the kitchen or the DoubleTree. One of the two. Boom. Here go the girl right here. Here go dude and them. Look at these people that's blending in with these people, right? Check this out. Look, these people is with the group that's at the hotel. Boom. That's CC, family member. Boom. That's CC with family members. Bam. Irene come back again. You got the translate in there. Watch this. Look at what they got you all focused on at 1 something in the morning. They got y'all thinking people showing up at 1 something in the morning getting ready for a party. But in reality, these people really just showing up, go to the room, you know what I'm saying, make it look like, yeah, Kenneka about to ride so they can hold this footage and just show the girl walking in. Is this Kenneka walking in the hotel? This never been confirmed. Right? Hold on, guys. So watch this. Never been confirmed. This video could be chopped up and screwed because I believe either Kenneka walked in by herself and they got them 3 walking in by themselves. It's nothing to put all 4 of them together and make them all come in together. So now look, this what will be going on at 1 o'clock because they already on the move. Bree already on the move. Bam, she already know the crew. She already know what to do. This is why you got fake employees in and out the kitchen. Bam, this a real employee. This the one everybody need to be looking into. It's him. Bam, check this out. Boom, look, fake employees. Wow, we got to clean the crime scene up. We got to clean up. And keep this in mind. Miss Teresa mentioned soap, water on the head, all this stuff. Watch this. Everybody know the girl gonna be downstairs in the basement. So once they come in, boom, boom, boom. Watch this. Once they come in, here go Leonora. Bree gonna be on the move. She gonna be following Miss Teresa's order, cause she the one gonna have the keys in the car. Cause you gonna have to explain like, well, look, you got to come up and how they done bring the keys to the car, Miss Teresa. You know what I'm saying? Well, I trust Bree with the keys and all this. You know what I'm saying? Now look, you got Leonora. Bam. This why you don't see Miss Teresa on the footage. Cause guess what Miss Teresa gonna be at? Damn near somewhere in this hotel. Somewhere in this hotel or at that DoubleTree too. Cause remind y'all they booked the room at the DoubleTree too. So you gonna have multiple rooms at the DoubleTree too, right? So now look, all of this, boom, just walk along the footage, make everything look cool. Then Bree leave with CC, a family member, right? He the one making poses, telling everybody she shouldn't have been in no room with drunken men anyway. Fooling the 5, making it look like, oh man, they did that girl wrong in the room type stuff. But the whole time, this is what they were doing. This is why French came with the sheets and blanket, left him running out on the footage to make you think something was going on. But in reality, he just following orders and doing what he was told to do. Cause every time when you see him, he got his walkie-talkie in his hand, and when he on the move, you could tell somebody told him to do this shit. So boom. Now you got employees in the kitchen. Watch this. Check this out. This where everything finna get interesting because I heard what the lawyer said, right? Watch this.
Own investigation. What have you learned?
We're still in the preliminary stages of the investigation, but we have gathered personally more video than they initially released, and it gives us a better picture of what was going on around the hotel. Amazingly,
Now check this out. So what time employees will be in the kitchen? Round 2 and 3:30, right? Why you think Leonora said, yeah, did you last contact your sister around 1:30? Nope, I have not. I just know she left the house at 11:30. Cap. Miss Teresa gonna be with law enforcement. Leonora is on the footage. The family is on the footage at one time, and employees is in the kitchen in the hours, and everybody see them going in that location. If you mean to tell me they want y'all to believe she walked in there round about 2:33, no, that's when they have everybody came down there with staff, employee, and they place her in the freezer round about that time. Because if you want to see the real truth, they would have never showed you somebody walking back there towards the freezer. They would have showed you police officers, managers, Miss Teresa, family member, physically putting her in there. You see what I'm saying? Then you're gonna see police telling everybody, look, y'all go get out of this kitchen, go back to the room. So they'll walk from this way. Check this out. So look, they'll walk from the layout. So if they all gonna be in the kitchen, it's nothing. When the cameras don't work, allegedly, in the area, you can walk out of here and keep this in mind where the trash dock, and watch this. Ain't no 18-wheeler pulling up here, ain't delivering no goods. Look, 18-wheeler is not finna pull up in there. You can go down up on the ground where the freight elevator's at and the real loading dock. This is not the loading dock. The basement is the main loading dock. This is why you got the elevator to bring the food upstairs to this kitchen and to this kitchen and to this restaurant. Hold up. Check this out. So when they come out the kitchen, it's nothing to walk through here. Come down here. We're going to look at the path of this yellow script. You can walk here, cameras off, come around here, and come back in the hotel like this. Yeah, woo. Just making it here. Yeah, y'all look. See what I'm saying? Boom. Bam. Now watch this.
As she kind of went through the rooms.
So you see that they would have been in the same rooms. Did you see any interaction between her and hotel staff in the footage that you watched?
I did not see any interaction, and we'll have to follow up with identifying the names of those employees to see exactly what they saw. But again, in the kitchen, for instance, you see someone in there mopping the kitchen. Also in the kitchen, you see someone who appears to be preparing some food. These are people who you would expect.
So if you see that, that means you would see a bunch of shelves in the kitchen preparing some food for who? At 1 and 2 in the morning. In my King Raw voice, they fed everybody in the room. They were even coming in the hotel with cups. Right? Look, they even got cups in their hand. Coming in. So look what will be going on. This is why you see everybody. Look, it's a distraction now. This is the perfect time to show everybody will be coming in. You see that? That's why you got so much movement around this time. They want you to believe Man around there chasing her. But no, Man finna help place her in the freezer. So round about this time, don't it fit the narrative? What Trey ain't trying to tell y'all what's going on? Hold up. Keep this in mind. Think about September the 5th going on the 6th. Everything already occurred. So boom, that's why they're gonna flash a lookalike or a Kenneka. Boom, boom, boom. To follow up with this. Oh, he chasing her. Kenneka ain't walking, bro. The girl already deceased. Right? They need Man. If Frank K said, yeah, dude in all black helped place Kenneka in the freezer. So this when they will be placing her in the freezer. Now watch this. Man on his way to the kitchen. Since Man already on the kitchen, right? Look who will be leaving, coming out. Bree. Bree will be coming back in to go get who? Monifa. So Man already down there. Monifa, cause look, Monifa finna go. And that's when they finna actually place her in the freezer, bruh. Boom. Look, if you knock an hour off, this at 2 something. Going on 3. And this when they said Kenneka supposed to be in the kitchen with employee walking and stumbling. Look who all heading in that area. You see what I'm saying? Boom. In that area.
Expect to have encountered her or at a minimum seen her as she went through the kitchen area.
So were they
occurred and how it can be prevented. What's most concerning about this case right now from our perspective is the Crown Plaza knew immediately, not many hours later, immediately she was reported by her friends and then her family.
Immediately. Back in the paperwork, what's immediately? Then they say Kenneka came out the room at 2 something. Think about this. Irene live video was at 1 something on September the 6th. So what time Kenneka will be actually coming out the room? Between the hours of 1, going on 2:30. Put it like this here. You hear Kenneka in the background, y'all irritating. You hear in the live video, we about to come outside in my Monifa voice and Miss Teresa voice, like, yeah, how she get outside and made it back in the Crown Plaza with, and about to soap and water her. And then you got Leonora talking about how was her when she left out the hotel. You see what I'm saying? Now look, all of this gonna be going on around 1 and 2 in the morning. 1 and 2. So boom, they're gonna do this again on the 3rd shift. Only thing they gonna do, boom. That's why Monifa, look, they just placed that girl in that freezer. Round about this time, this is what the video will be showing to 2 to 3. Now look, if that was a thinking man, a guessing man, right? If I was a thinking man, right? If I'm gonna go with 2:54 and you got the hotel staff given a particular time frame, she walked in that freezer at 3:30, 3:31, not to be specific. But if I look at this footage from 2 all the way up to 3:30, so that means look what this would look like. Everybody going in to the same location. Boom. Now we at the 3 o'clock mark. Now we see why Kenny and his boys will be showing up. Guess where they going? Everybody going to the location. Then you got another family member. They was texting. Flavor. Flavor. Now this is at 3 in the morning. Think about what Kilo Brown said. Now the police upstairs. Police there. Guess where the police gonna be at? Downstairs in the kitchen. This why, look. So boom. So you already know, the image in my head, this what Shemaya said. Now let's start from this side to this side. Rosemont told us not to say anything. I can't even help Kenneka if I really wanted to. Yeah, the image that stuck in my head of them killing you. What? Yeah, bitch. Cause when they place her in the trash bag, I'm like, is I'm tweaking? Is they putting her in the trash bag? What time they will be seeing this? It's 3:02. 3:02. Look, Monifa 2 different time frames. Monifa 2 different time frames, right? Watch this. Boom. She come back. Boom. 3:07. Now you see why they trying to play a role. You see why they trying to play a role now? Boom. Everybody did what they did. P, them, TY. They just placed the girl in the goddamn freezer. Whoa. Hold up. Time is very important. Cause look. He said what the family was notified immediately, not many hours later, right when she came up missing. And guess what he said? He said when that was notified immediately, an hour later, before she walked in the restaurant. Did you hear what I just said? He said the family was notified minutes when Kenneka came up missing. Just go with the 2:30 narrative, September the 6th. They did what they did to her, right? September 6th, round about 2, 3 in the morning. Boom. Now they in the hands with the organ harvesting people. They got control of the body. Boom, boom, boom. They did what they did with the body. And watch this. They did a full autopsy on the girl. And once they did the full autopsy, keep this in mind, I believe the body that was actually in the freezer is Kenneka. And already been tampered with. Because the funeral home know how to stitch a body up. And just like a body paint, if you did it, a hole get plugged in it, you can patch it up with some muddy pugs. You know what I'm talking about? And sand it down and you'll never know who was there. So boom. So they place her in the freezer. Bam. Right? Place her in the freezer. Check this out. They're going to make them place her in the freezer. Boom. Okay. We got her in the freezer. Watch what these bastards going to do. Let the girl stay there. So watch this. They finna let the girl stay there. Cause at this time round about 3, watch this. This at 3:19. This at 3:20. Boom. Look where they going. Everybody going there. Then watch this. Round 3, you got the police in the kitchen. Bam. He coming out the kitchen. Then you got employees in the kitchen like what he was saying. Hold up. This finna get crazy. Cause this at 3 o'clock. 3:36. Where Kendra at? When in my P's voice, where Kendra? We can't even find Kendra. Yeah, I know what Kendra will be doing. Cause this when you finna see her pop up where she was at the whole time. And D3. Cause she gonna be in the room. In TY live video. Her. But where was she? So look, boom. It's finna go on 4 o'clock. Monique, woo, look where they at. Bam. We all see them down on this. Ooh, we. And check this out.
And her family was there at the Crown Plaza on at least 3 occasions, camping out to the point where the Crown Plaza called the police on the family because the family was so concerned about Kenneka's whereabouts. Why, under these circumstances, when Kenneka is clearly visible on security cameras,
this would be the perfect time for somebody would be walking in the hallways on September the 9th, to be honest with you. Cause guess what? All the camera is cut off down here. It skips. You see what I'm saying? That would be the perfect time while you got a Kenneka lookalike would be roaming the hall. Cause the real Kenneka would never roam down here, bruh. If you know Kenneka never walked this route, you got to have a lookalike round about this time. Where they said he was employees in the kitchen. Look where he coming from. With a plate in his hand. Speaking of food, no wonder. So that means if he got the plate already, somebody was in the kitchen at 2:42. He got a plate. Got him again. That match up with Larry Rogers said. So when the lawyer spoke, he ain't mentioned none of that. He ain't mentioned none of that, right? Hold on. This was finna get very, very interesting. Cause when I watched this whole 36-hour footage, this what stood out to me when I watched it is actually set it watch down because of the red jacket. Cause I'm like, man, red jacket been on their ass since they got there. He keeping a close eye on them. So in my mind, I'ma think like, yeah, this here look like some racist shit. You know what I'm saying? But it actually ain't racist. It's actually that they know what they did. Boom, boom, boom. And everybody's sticking to the game plan. Hold up. Let me play this video some more.
Immediately, not many hours later, immediately, she was reported by her friends and then her family. And her family was there at the Crown Plaza on at least 3 occasions, camping out to the point where the Crown Plaza called the police on the family because the family was so concerned about Kenneka's whereabouts. Why, under these circumstances, when Kenneka is clearly visible on security cameras?
Y'all heard that? Now, if you go to Hella Chick channel, when she put the police dispatch and the first dispatch, then the dispatch came up round about this time. Watch this. Cold-blooded her. When Hell of a Chick knocked 6 hours off the time of the dispatcher missing person, now you see why they had a missing person. Hold up. Before that, you see why Miss Rich will be calling the hotel round 2 something in the morning. Check those surveillance cameras. They're supposed to be at the same time she came out the room, right? Nope. That's the narrative they want you to believe, right? So guess what they would actually be doing downstairs with an employee cooking them food and shit and placing her in the freezer? With an employee, according to Larry Rogers, because he went in there and grabbed the food. They would be around 2 something in the morning. She would be in the same kitchen with employees. Makes sense to me. Cause I was like, damn, I don't see nobody in the kitchen. Cause I'm watching the whole footage. I got the footage to the kitchen at the time. I don't see nobody in there, but I feel somebody was in there. Cause he going in there and he coming out with a plate. So now look, boom, look how he looked like now. $1 million lawyer, bro. Seems like Larry Rogers told some type of truth. It's gonna be employees in the kitchen. He coming out with a hot plate. Kenneka gonna be in the kitchen. But check this out. They said Kenneka gonna be walking in the kitchen around 3:30. I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think so. Not at 3:30. Whoa. Hello. That would be a perfect time for her to be playing the role. Walk your ass back to the freezer, bitch. Hold up. Man, pie y'all, let's see, can we get 100 likes, gang? Let's see, can we get 100 likes? Cause Trey ain't spilling tea. If you keep this in mind, in my Miss Teresa voice, yeah, Kenneka with the organ people. Ooh, wait a minute, shit, Lord Jesus. I mean the blood bank people. Damn it. Shit, girl, the camera rolling. Yeah, bitch, you better straighten this shit up. No, she was sold to the no. Oh Jesus. Hold up. So boom, this why Monique would have her shoes off. Boom. Look what Shamaya went in the laundry room. That's why Shamaya would be going in the laundry room. My best bet is if she came through here and walked through this door, she could go down the hallway and get on these flight elevators or meet up anybody that's in the kitchen down here. So look, listen to this shit.
Cameras.
Perfect timing. Cause while they will be doing all of this, look, put this in your mind what really will be going on. This will be going on with a lookalike cousin playing downstairs with a production company. Look, you will have people behind the camera in the security booth. Come down here. Boom, boom, boom. This your role. This what you do. Bam, bam, bam. They had her cousin play this role. Had Kendra playing the freezer role. Cause you can match Kenneka body up with her, cause they got the same body style. You see what I'm saying? But you're gonna need Kendra for the back shot. You see what I'm saying? You're gonna need Kendra from the back shot to make a 3D image. Like, yeah, but they totally different people. You see what I'm saying? Hold up, watch this. Let's play the video. Cause everything, every screen scene that you see on this video, it mean a lot to the case. Bam, watch this, check it out. So this why the narrative came out in the beginning off top. They were placing her in the freezer in my Irene voice. Yeah, you want to know who put her in the freezer? Her best friend Monifa did. This ain't nothing about the family, right? Because that's what Miss Teresa want. So this is what Miss Teresa said in my Miss Teresa voice. When we got there, Kenneka was already in a white body bag already. A white body bag? White trash bag? Yeah, white trash bag. Oh, I see that on Rosemont. I wish they didn't put this. I wish they would have showed this picture in color so I know what the true color of where this wall is. Because if you look directly right here, it look like that she laying in the kitchen in this area against the wall by the office. Don't that look like that in the kitchen? Everybody know, hold up. on the window. Don't that look like a window? That's a window. Hold up. And you got a colorful wall? Now I see why the police said, yeah, we got a color code report. Yeah, I know the color code of the walls. Hold up. So at some point, took the white bag off her. Look at the floor. Same kitchen floor. Bam! It's a body in there for sure. You can see this got to be the arms, the hips, and the legs. Hold up. So it was gonna be police on the other side of this. Check this out. This when they will be handing Miss Teresa evidence.
So while she's looking for her friend, it's already turned the fuck up at the hotel. It's turned up. Now the police done came. So the police thinking it's a party because it's a bunch of kids in the midst of come up.
Answer just briefly any questions you have.
Mr. Fire, could you explain the mechanism on the freezer again?
Sure. This is right here is a lock. It can be pressed down and it can secure the door, preventing any.
And watch this. The lawyer even said this. We got surveillance evidence who locked the freezer, but then intentionally locked the freezer. Guess what time they will be locking the freezer? Guess what time they will be locking the freezer? Matter of fact, I got the video of the front desk when they called for the freezer keys.
Anybody from the inside from exiting, and came back later to find, well, we've just locked in Kenneka.
So you're not saying that you believe that they did this on purpose?
No, there's absolutely no evidence that anybody did anything on purpose, and I don't believe it. There'd be no reason to do it. I think it's pure and utter negligence.
Check this out. The lawyer said the family was notified immediately when Kenneka came up missing. Then an hour later, she walking in the freezer. An hour later, she walking in the freezer. So you mean to tell me an hour nobody come find her, right? That's why nobody didn't believe none of this shit. Cause we like, how she gonna be walking in a hotel for an hour? Nobody can't find her. This ain't like no goddamn hiking trail. So boom. He gave her everybody Pacific time stamp. This when they locked the freezer. Cause when the family started calling the hotel and all of this stuff, that's when they decided to lock the freezer. And it's right before the first shift. And guess what you got, Miss Teresa? With the employees. And guess what time hell of a chick call come in at? Yeah, can you come back here about those cameras and check that missing person report? They already had a missing person report between the hours of 4 and 5 in the morning. Between 4 and 5 in the morning. So when you hear Miss Teresa 911 call, now it gonna make sense. So when they placed that girl in the freezer, 911 call, Miss Teresa knew, the police knew, everybody knew where she was at. And left her in the freezer and started their investigation and taking pictures around 8 or 9, 7 o'clock. And preserved the girl body. And then check this out. I already did an autopsy. It didn't make it so bad. Now they got Miss Teresa coming back in, viewing the body on the stretcher. This some cold shit here. Hold up.
No suggestion whatsoever that anybody did harm to Teresa on purpose. What's more likely is that through pure negligence, someone noticed that the doors in the kitchen were open. They locked them like they should have been locked. They locked the freezer, and unfortunately, they locked Kenneka into the freezer.
So watch this. Is this telling you that when they lock the freezer, guess who all will be in the kitchen when they locking her in the freezer? Round about this time. If you add Larry Rogers' story with her with employees and they placing her in the freezer, go to this sucker narrative. Yeah, somebody locked them like they should have been locked. You see what I'm saying? Hold up. Watch this. This why Mitch Reese is going to say that nobody did nothing to her. Because guess what? I got a video. Matter of fact, I got to play. Look, I'm finna play the sister video right quick. I'm gonna get back to Beach Brew because I already broke this down, right? I'm gonna come back to that. Where I'm finna go to again? Yeah, the sister. And watch when I play her sister video. The interview. Man, I'm finna tear her ass up. And type all this. Come on. Oh, listen to this shit right quick.
Firefighter to fire. Then they come on and told her that employee found her which one it is. The employee did it. Which one it is?
Now look, I'm finna play this video. Listen to everything what she finna say, and I'm finna break everything down, cause she fucked up.
No, don't jump no accusations.
No, I'm just trying. I'm just getting whatever else you said that the discrepancy was.
Once we was here, they told my mama that the fire department found my sister in the freezer, dead, deceased. But they called her a few days later and told her that they told her that an employee found my sister deceased. It was like 10 of us out here. They did not say.
Did they say anything else that what was in that freezer? Because why so long before somebody would go in a freezer in a hotel this size?
We went in the freezer. It wasn't nothing in the freezer, but one little piece of ice in the freezer was warm when we got in the freezer. It wasn't even cold. They said they had just turned it up. Even if it was out, you should still be a little cold when the freezer was all full of ice.
Did they say anything about any obvious marks on her, anything like that?
No, they didn't let us see her until they put her in the body bag. We didn't see none down here. We only saw her from neck on up. And her hair was all over her head. It looked like she was fighting. I asked her friends how was her hair was when she left out the hotel. They said her hair was flat and straight down. And when I saw it, it looked like it was just all over her head. It didn't add up. It didn't add up.
Were you the one who spoke with your sister at about 1:30 the night before on Saturday morning? Or no? One of your family members spoke with her at 1:30, right?
No, I know she left the house at 11:30.
On Friday?
Yeah.
But Saturday morning, there was a report that somebody spoke with her, at least knew that she was alive at 1:30 on Saturday morning. Is there any confirmation that you know of from that? Okay.
No, I didn't.
So we're literally looking for what happened from that time until she was found Sunday morning. I mean, nobody really...
That's a long time.
It's a long time.
That's a whole day. Like, even if a boy did find her, what made that a boy go into an empty freezer? How? If y'all say y'all don't use this area no more, so why is the boy in this area? I don't know.
There was also concern about her being locked in, possibly. Like, was there a padlock or something on the outside?
They found her in a double freezer. You had to go through one freezer to get through another freezer. But before you enter that freezer room, it's a camera right there. My mother asked them, did the camera work? The men say, the police officer say, detective. He said, I'm not sure.
So And
And now he say he told my mama. You can see video, whoever entered that room before, before you got in there, you can, yes, you should be able to see it, because it's a camera right there before you enter the room. And it was an emergency lock inside the freezer. So if ain't nobody put in there, if they say she walked in and like they say, I'm pretty sure that co-worker out when she was intoxicated, that must have woke her up. Why did she push the button? It wasn't nobody on. I mean, even if she did put herself in it, she would have pushed that button and the door supposed to open. It don't add up since she walked in there. I'm pretty sure my sister would have pushed that button to get up out of there because she was freezing. It ain't right. It's emergency buttons in the door, so just in case the door shut, it ain't even no habit.
Lenore, did you see this video that was traveling around on Facebook? And this is something I want to ask police, because I've asked them before. They said they weren't privy to it today. With a young lady who said she was her friend, who had a knife in her hand and a white T-shirt, and she was. Is there any reason for you to be concerned about?
I saw that, but if it was somebody from the hotel party, the police didn't tell us.
Somebody's doing something.
Yeah, they didn't tell us if it was. They didn't.
That's what I thought. That didn't add up. This patch. Okay. If there's any other way for you to use us, I'll text you my number. You can reach out to us. Jim Hall has my number too, and also, yeah. But if you need anything else, I'm so sorry. This isn't something you should be grieving now. You should be trying to solve a crime here.
Yeah, but sometimes we gotta do what we gotta do.
Yeah.
I get that's my little sister. I'm not gonna stop until I get
Can I ask you a question, sister? What is it that you want to tell the whole world to stop saying about your sister, negative, anything on Facebook, all these lies until the truth come out? What is you want, the message that you want to
I want to tell them to please stop making it seem like my sister was here. Because what she had on, because what you wear don't identify your character. You can't judge a book by its cover. So I don't care what this hotel known for, because I got a lot of rumors that the hotel known for selling. You know what? One thing, and I'm not just saying this because she's my sister. You guys, anybody out here that know her? Kenneka had 2 boyfriends out of her life that I know about. Tampons hurted my sister. So I know she wasn't here selling nothing. I know she wasn't here. They need to stop saying that she was drunk, because now it's a bunch of other videos that's at 2:40, that's at 2:30. It's a lot of more videos coming out, and I have the video. See, she was fine. She was sitting there. She wasn't like this or none of that. So if y'all say she got lost at 2 somehow, she in a video. So she just sitting there. She talking, because when the manager knocked on the door, whoever it was, Kenneka was one of the persons that went to the door and they say that was a manager. You see this in the video. So she was drunk and she had to come up missing around 3 something, not 2 something. It ain't adding up, because we got like 5 more videos. So what they saying not adding up. They say it was at 3:20. She was stuck.
Now look, I'm finna break all this back down, cause check this out. Everything what she just said is criminating. Start from this side.
How did the firefighter define her? Then they come on and told her that employee found her. Which one it is?
The firefighter, the employees, the police department, and my Miss Teresa voice. Yeah, I believe Rosamund helped all of us. Remember what Miss Teresa said? Boom. This what I caught. This what I got out my investigation.
The employee did. Which one it is?
You know which one it is.
No, I'm just getting whatever else you said that the discrepancy was.
Once we was here, they told my mama that the fire department found my sister in the freezer, dead, deceased. But they called her a few days later and told her that they told her that an employee found my sister deceased.
They call her a few days later so they can get the story straight. So this after all of this, right? Keep that in mind. Criminating shit here.
It was like 10 of us out here. They did not say.
Did they say anything?
It was 10 of y'all out. It was like 10 of y'all downstairs in the basement. When y'all see this. This what my investigation led me to, cause this finna go back to all the way one side.
Else what was in that freezer, because why why so long before somebody would go in a freezer in a hotel this size?
We went in the freezer.
Hold
It
on.
wasn't nothing in the freezer.
Told you they went in the freezer. It wasn't nothing in the freezer when they went in the freezer, bruh. They know they on video going to the freezer and placing her in there. But the police gonna help them out with like, look, we gonna use that video y'all showing y'all going to view the body. That's what she finna go off of. Yeah, when we went in there, so when she said when they went in there, y'all gonna think when they was in the kitchen viewing the body, but now this ain't gonna be at one sum. Empty freezer, place her in there.
But one little piece of ice in the freezer was warm when we got in the freezer.
Boom! In my Irene voice, they said that freezer didn't even work. And Zach was like, wow! Wow! Irene, did you see the freezer? Irene would instantly respond, nope. They said that freezer don't even work. Wait a minute, bitch, how you know? And then look, watch this.
It wasn't even cold. They said they had just turned it up.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it was out, it should still be a little.
They said they just turned it on. This girl just said the freezer was hot, one little piece of ice, and they said they just turned it on. Sound like they preserving the body. Like what Trey Gang investigation taught me, bruh. Boy, this shit here is so criminal. Look who on her side. Ain't this the same thing with the mama? If this was Miss Teresa, guess who this would be? Jedediah Brown. Now you see the pattern in her. Hold up. Did Jedediah say Rosemont is in one of they in y'all? I don't want to say it, but y'all said it. The case may be true that these people said in August. Hold up, listen to this shit.
Look over the freezer with all full of ice.
Did they say anything?
Look.
Somebody would go in a freezer in a hotel.
My sister, once we was here, they told my mama that the fire department left my sister in the freezer, dead, deceased. But they called her a few days later and told her that they told her that an employee left my sister deceased. It was like 10 of us out here. They did not say.
Did they say anything else that what was in that freezer? Because why so long before somebody would go in a freezer in a hotel this size?
We went in the freezer. It wasn't nothing in the freezer. But one little piece of ice in the freezer was warm when we got in the freezer. It wasn't even cold. They said they had just turned it up. Even if it was out, it should still be a little cold when the freezer was all full of ice.
Did they say anything about any obvious marks on her, anything like that?
No, they didn't let us see her.
Oh, so check this out. They went to the freezer, and the reporter was like, did you see any marks on her? So the reporter's already gonna be ahead of Irene. I mean, Leonore, what she really don't know. So that's why the reporter asking her some questions and one some. Did you last talk to her one some? But we see what was going on really at one some, right? All the way up to down there 3 and 4 on the footage, a cover up.
They put her in the body bag. We didn't see none down here. We only saw her from neck on up. And her hair was all over her head. It looked like she was spiking.
What?
I asked her friends how was her hair was when she left out the hotel. They said her hair was flat and straight down.
Out the hotel, right? In my Miss Teresa voice, how did she get back in the Crown Plaza? Chosen King told y'all it's a video of them killing her. Actually killing her, right?
And when I saw it, looked like it was just all over her head. It didn't add up.
So why would you go to that even though if her hair was all over her head in a body bag? You see what I'm saying? Like you see what I'm saying? Why would you instantly go? Her hair was all over her head. It looked like she been fighting. Now I see why you said this shit. Cause you guilty of fighting. You and Miss Teresa on video fighting.
It didn't add up.
Were you family members spoke with her at 1:30, right?
No, I know she left the house at 11:30.
The news reporter know she last contacted allegedly her sister, but her sister deceived, but they got caught up with the phone.
Friday.
Yeah.
But Saturday morning, there was a report that somebody spoke with her, at least knew that she was alive at 1:30 on Saturday morning. Is there any confirmation that you know of from that?
So that's the trick. They want everybody to believe the girl is still alive. If you believe the girl is still alive, round about that time, you're falsely misguided. And I hope you pray to God and ask for guidance when you think about Kenneka, bro. Because God said it in his own word. Ask me. I reveal it to you. You ain't got to go to no YouTube video. You ain't got to go to Trey Gang. You go come to me, my child. And I'm going to reward you with the truth. So look, boom, look how she looking.
Okay. So we're literally looking for what happened from that time until she was found Sunday morning. I mean, nobody really...
That's a long time.
It's a long time.
That's a whole day, but not the, like...
A whole day y'all left her there. Now watch what she finna say after this.
Even if a boy did find her, what made that a boy go into an empty prison? How? If y'all say y'all don't use this area no more, so why is the...
She said, what? Y'all don't use this stairwell no more. Wait a minute. Is we talking about the stairwells? Hold on. If I see the police bringing y'all in this ballroom here, this how y'all can sneak to the basement. Hold on. Wait a minute. You said y'all don't use these stairwells no more.
Really, that's a long time.
It's a long time.
That's a whole day, but not the, like, even if a boy did find her, what made that a boy go into an empty prison? How? If y'all say y'all don't use this area no more, so why is the boy in this area?
Go back to the Larry Rogers. Everybody gonna be in the kitchen, in the basement, in the functioning kitchen with everybody down there. That's why she mentioned an employee. And man, y'all, this one they gonna be locking the freezer. And they don't use this stairwell no more, huh? Boy, this shit finna get real. Hold on, this shit finna get real.
I don't know.
There was also concern about her being locked in, possibly. Like, was there a padlock or something on the outside?
How will the news know it's a pop lock on the outside? Hold up.
The Crown Plaza knew immediately, not
Pop
many
lock.
hours later, immediately she was reported by her friends, preventing anybody from... Sure.
Watch this.
Right here is a lock. It can be pressed down and it can secure the door.
Pop lock. Pop lock. You mean to tell me the news? No, it's a pop lock on the freezer. Bust her bubble quick.
How? If y'all say y'all don't use this area no more, so why is the boy in this area? I don't know.
There was also concern about her being locked in, possibly. Like, was there a padlock or something on the outside?
They found her in a double freezer.
Even the news got this much information. They go back to what the lawyer said. We got video evidence. Who locked the freezer? And its own footage. The news knew about a pop lock on the freezer that you can lock from the outside, preventing anybody from leaving. That means once it locked on the outside, the emergency latch, is useless. So, this what I got out of this. Ooh-wee. Y'all ready for this? Check this out. It's gonna be surveillance footage. All of them putting that girl in the freezer. It's video footage of the manager locking the freezer. Can I show it to y'all? Look. Check this out. I'm finna pull the video up right now. Kitchen, please. Damn it, not this one. This one Kenneka walking in. I need the one with the manager walking in. The beverage manager walking in, they got y'all thinking he went and unlocked the freezer and got law enforcement. No, that footage is when they all place her when they made the agreement. Everybody put her in the freezer on surveillance camera. And once they did it, they cleared the kitchen and let the beverage manager go and pop that lock on that freezer and made sure that he had the keys in his hand to give you an illusion as he unlocking it. Hi y'all, and guess what time that's gonna be in the morning? If you knock 6 hours off that footage and do some real investigation and bag it up with the paperwork of the stuff I done found out, they said it was at 12 something, 12:30 when he went back there. They go back to 5:30 in the morning when you knock 5 hours off the footage. And that's gonna match up with the Feiger narrative. We got surveillance evidence. Somebody locked the freezer. So you got the manager went back there, popped the lock on the freezer, and left. And the next time you see the police entering that kitchen, that was later on. Look, watch this.
You have to go through one freezer to get through another freezer. But before you enter that freezer room, it's a camera right there. My mother asked them, did the camera work? The men say, the police officer say, detective. He said, I'm not sure.
They were asking, was that camera working? Because you handing us evidence on that camera. These camera recorders, they're just like, if you in on this crime, I'm going to ask old cameras too. Them motherfuckers on? Nah, I'm not sure them Johns on now. I would, because the way I looked at the camera footage, when they were pointing at the camera, Mitch Reese, the dude shook his head no. So Mitch Reese was up under the pressure. The camera is not on, and they is on. And they handing her evidence on the footage. So once they saw that on the footage, everybody was like, what's that game Miss Teresa and all of this? Then this when Miss Teresa want to make all of these posts like, yeah, I haven't received nothing. Where's my baby property and all of this old stuff? What would Kenneka draw? Have them John tested. I want everything tested, bro. Look, listen to this.
So now he say you told my mama. You can see video, whoever entered that room before, before you got in there, you can, yes, you should be able to see it because it's a camera right there before you enter the room. And it was an emergency lock inside the freezer. So if ain't nobody put her in there, if they say she walked in and like they say.
And you can keep this in mind. You can lock her in there with the pop lock, right? The pop lock. They stopped the goddamn emergency lock for doing anything. Hold up.
I'm pretty sure that co-worker out when she was intoxicated. That supposed to woke her up.
Hold up. What she just say?
Put her in there if they say she walked in and like they say. I'm pretty sure that co-worker out when she was intoxicated. That supposed to woke her
Co-worker.
up. Why did she there if they say she walked in and like they say? I'm pretty sure that co-worker out when she was intoxicated. That supposed to woke her up. Why did she push the body? It wasn't nobody on. I mean,
Cole Earl. Better say Cole Earl some shit. Let me listen to it again.
I'm pretty sure that co-worker out when she was intoxicated.
Man, she said co-worker, bruh. Hi, y'all.
That supposed to woke her up. Why did she push the button? It wasn't nobody on. I mean, even if she did put herself in it, she would have pushed that button in the door supposed to open. It don't add up since she walked in there. I'm pretty sure my sister would have pushed that button to get up out of there because she was freezing.
Mind you, you said the freezer didn't even work and it was warm. So you can't go with the freezer theory, bitch.
It ain't right. It's emergency buttons in the door, so just in case the door shut. It ain't even no handle.
Leonard, did you see this?
She said, what? It ain't even no handle.
Buttons in the door, so just in case the door shut. It ain't even no handle.
Leonard,
it's emergency buttons in the door, so just in case the door shut. It ain't even no handle. I would have pushed that button to get up out of there because she was freezing. It ain't right. It's emergency buttons in the door, so just in case the door shut. It ain't even no handle.
Leonard, did you see this video that was traveling around on Facebook? And this is something I...
And this still around about the same time. So check this out. So you see how focused she is on these questions? Look at the demon in her eyes. You see this shit, right? You see how she laser focused? Look at it like this here. When they were all downstairs placing her in their freezer at a particular time frame. And the news is spot on what they asking these questions. Right? Now you got a girl with a white tee with a knife in her hand. Ooh, think about the bruises. Think about what will be going on around Kenneka's neck. Miss Teresa don't even want to talk about the neck. Leonora stopped mentioning the neck. Nobody never, check this out. In the beginning, they mentioned strangulation. What? So watch this. So it went to, look, you know you caught, y'all put her in the freezer. We know who locked her in the freezer. We know when the police were there. Because that's where we got our information from the police. Bitch, don't you know this is public? Did you know if any police report, you know what I'm saying, is public information? And we see the girl on Facebook with a knife in her hand, then we already know you on the footage. So that's why the news, if you look at the pattern of the question, hey, someone knew she was alive around one something, right? Oh yeah, you know. Did you last contact her? No. You know what I'm saying? Hey, when she was down there in the freezer, something about a pop lock down there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I don't just really want to mention that pop lock right now. It's an emergency latch around that freezer. And the news in their mind thinking like, well, they rehearsing the footage in their head was like, damn, we got the beverage manager pressing the button on the freezer. You know what I'm saying? Hey, can you describe the route where she was really at, where this camera above the freezer there to show this cover up stuff, you know? You see what I'm saying? Look, watch this.
I want to ask police because I asked them before. They said they weren't privy to it today. With a young lady who said she was her friend who had a knife in her hand and a white T-shirt, and she was. Is there any reason for you to be concerned about?
I saw that, but if it was somebody from the hotel party, the police didn't tell them.
Somebody's doing something.
That probably would be Bree. Cause Bree with the ponytail and they could be cutting the plastic off. That's the only way I could think, you know what I'm saying, cut the plastic off. So I'm not going to need a knife because, you know what I'm saying, because, you know, them garbage bags, you have to really rip them, John. And then Miss Teresa even mentioned about those trash bags in the freezer. Cause when I looked at all that black stuff, it looked like somebody really melt plastic. It's like somebody like got a lighter, burnt a hole in the plastic, and started ripping the plastic off of it, and the stuff got caught on the nails. But all of this will be going down between the hours of 2 and 3 in the morning.
Yeah, they didn't tell us if it was. They didn't.
That's what I thought. That didn't add up. This is attached. Okay. If there's any other way for you to use us, I'll text you my number. You can reach out to us. Jamal has my number too, and also, yeah. But if you need anything else, I'm so sorry. This isn't something you should be grieving now. You should be trying to solve a crime here.
Yeah, but sometimes we gotta do what we gotta do.
Yeah.
Yes, that's my little sister. I'm not gonna stop until I get you.
Can I ask you a question, sister? What is it that you want to tell the whole world to stop saying about your sister, negative, anything on Facebook, all these lies until the truth come out? What did you want, the message that you want to
I want to tell them to please stop making it seem like my sister was here, because what she had on.
See that? Just jumped off completely off the whole subject of the narrative. Watch this. I don't even want to hear that.
That's at 240.
Look, here we go.
Kenneka, one thing, and I'm not just saying
Watch
this. She's
this.
my sister. You guys, anybody out here that know her? Kenneka had 2 boyfriends out of her life that I know about. Tampons hurted my sister, so I know she wasn't here selling nothing. I know she wasn't here. They need to stop saying that she was drunk, because now it's a bunch of other videos that's at 240, that's at 230. It's a lot of more videos coming out, and I have the video.
See that? Ain't them the same video Miss Teresa was fabricating on Kenneka phone? Living proof. That's why she trying to convince everybody of this. But look at all the video that been deleted on Kenneka phone. They want you to believe, yeah, she was in the bathroom enjoying herself with Monique and them and all of this. Nothing about no Irene live video. Nothing Irene live video. Round about this time. Cause they don't talk about Irene live video at this time. They done lied so much, got to mention this in the report. Cause you gotta mention this in the report about the video. But guess what video they went off of? Video that said 240. They said 250, trying to fabricate. We're gonna say she was still in the room at this time. Now you see why they still want to have everybody believe they was in the room at this time instead of in the kitchen, in the basement, putting her in the freezer with everybody that's on. Don't that make sense now? Tell me, do that make sense? I know it do. Look. Nothing about no Irene live video. All video that they want you to believe, yeah, girl, come pick me up. Where you at? I got the new job. Oh, yeah, I'm happy. I'm ready to go.
See, she was fine. She was sitting there. She wasn't like this or none of that. So if y'all say she got lost at 2 somehow, she in a video. So she just sitting there.
If y'all say she got lost at 2 something and had to think about it because of your video.
She was fine. She was sitting there. She wasn't like this or none of that. So if y'all say she got lost at 2 somehow, she in a video.
See that? If y'all say she got lost in the how is she on the video? And you got the video.
So she just sitting there. She talking. There's a lot of more videos coming out, and I have the video. See, she was fine. She was sitting there. She wasn't like this or none of that. So if y'all say she got lost at Tucson, how she in a video? So she just sitting there, she talking. Cause when a man.
See that? She caught herself. She had to catch herself, y'all.
You knocked on the door, whoever it was. Kenneka was one of the persons that went to the door and they say that was a manager. You see this in the video. So she was drunk and she had to come up missing around 3-something, not 2-something. It ain't adding up because they.
Ooh, now check this out. Since she talking about this, look at her face. So y'all see the cover up now? Thumb me up, y'all see what Trey Gang saying now. You gotta show this video, bro. You look, check this out. Y'all see this in the video. She want y'all to believe this in the video at Tucson. Guess who finna interrupt this interview? The police. Watch how the police finna come in and straighten all this shit up. Hold on, watch this.
We got like 5 more videos. So what they saying not adding up. They say it was at 3:20. She was stumbling. They say she was stumbling. I don't believe that. Well,
if you got video saying she was in the room 5 and she had to come up missing around 3-some, why you don't believe the footage if they did show her on the video at 3-some? You see that? That's helping you out. But you so caught up in the morning, you forgetting a whole lot of shit, and the police deputy chief finna come in.
At the front desk you're talking about, yeah. In the hallway.
They say she was walking to an employee area, and they saw her on the camera stumbling, like holding on to the wall to walk like.
And keep this in mind with Larry Rogers' story, where people gonna be physically in the kitchen seeing this shit. And keep this in mind, she said that co-worker supposed to woke her up. The co-worker. The co-worker.
She was intoxicated.
Did you guys view that camera, or that's what
No,
they told you?
they saw that after we viewed the camera.
Okay.
They didn't show us that camera.
Tell her where they didn't show y'all camera like they ain't on the footage. They all on that footage. That's how she knows so much. Think about it when it comes to this interview. This why she knows so much. You're not supposed to figure some shit out, not to tell a narrative.
They saw that after we reviewed all. Once I left, they said they did every camera that they had in the hotel. They got extra.
So tomorrow you can get your hands on that. You can stay there and show me you can say, show me everything, right? I mean, sit there all day long.
If they willing to show it to me, yes.
Are you okay with me giving him your number?
Yes.
You can reach out to me.
Where is the freezer? Where's the freezer located?
In the basement, right?
Okay, to get to the freezer from the elevator, you have to walk straight. You got to pass the front desk, and then you have to turn. It's a long hallway. You got to walk through the hallway. You got to open 2 double doors. Before you open the door, it's a camera right there.
All right, y'all heard the route. Let's go to the route. You heard the route, right? It was just a simple route. She said once you get to the lobby, pass the front lobby desk and walk down. Here go 2 double doors. 2 double doors right there. Once you enter these double doors, everybody knows you got to make a hard left. Walk right here where the pot sink at. Right? Once you come at the pot sink, you gonna come out in this area right here. Cause here go the elevators right here. So this the elevators. Here go the pot sink where they stopped Mitch Reese and them on and gave her the evidence. So if anybody come and looking in this area, the only thing they're gonna see is the elevator. So boom. Simple route. Front desk, come here, turn down here. Here go the elevator, come through the kitchen, and here go the freezer. A simple route, right? Now that's to the upstairs to the freezer. Let's describe the one in the basement.
Before you enter the door. And I told the police police officer. I'm like, it's a camera right here. He told me it's 7 different ways to enter the kitchen.
What about the freezer? You can enter the kitchen all kinds of ways. He still have to sit there until they show you.
I say it's the camera right here, so he say it's 7 different ways to enter the freezer. And it's the long way you gotta go for her to be.
All right. She just described the short route. Now let's listen to the next route. Now it's a longer route.
Drunk like she had a man.
Why not go outside and get air?
You gotta go through
Why not go outside?
Then you gotta go through a little walkway. Then you gotta keep walking. You gotta walk through something else. Then you gotta open the little door thing. Then you gotta walk some more. Go through a door thing. But the camera before they say no, we not there yet. They say no, we not there yet. We not there. How did she do all this? Drunk. When you drunk, you go in the
go outside. You go outside.
See that? What route she describing? Let's go to when she talked to the police. This when the police interrupt the interview. Right here.
I don't have a signal, so that's why I can't take you guys in with me. But this is day number 2 that I've been looking for the freezer. But of course, when you're down there rambling around, they want to know what you're down there for, what you're doing. So I'm gonna try and put the spotlight on some of the protesters. I'm gonna get out and interview a couple of them. Y'all know how I am with the VIP parking. So let's just see what's happening here. We got people going on. They're out here. They're protesting. They're not playing about it. I'm gonna give these people a chance to go around. And as you can see, people are in the street. They're stopping traffic. They're doing what they need to do. What's happening? There's Jamal. There's Martin G. The news media is across the street, and that's exactly where I'm going to go park. But this is the protest that's happening right here. Right here. I'm actually gonna go find a VIP park over here with this news media.
Hold on, y'all. I'm finna go up to the interview. This when Lenore was out there doing the interview. Look, this the same day, right? This when Lenore was talking to the news press. When she got through saying what she was saying, this why the police chief, he was just at the door, smiling. And man, when Lenore got to talking about at 2 something, and don't edit video, guess who the public finna sidewine with? The family, because of the edit videos. Oh, hold on. So when Lenore got to talking all that shit, listen. He laughing. He laughing. Until somebody told him Lenore talking. So when Lenore got to watch this, she went from, watch how Lenore changed her whole tune when she talked to the same police that helped cover this shit up. Same police that helped put her in the freezer. When Leonora got out of pocket, this is where he come in there. Watch this. Look at the tune.
Of us, and it's like they was trying to be a secret because they told us to be quiet and they wouldn't say nothing until everybody be quiet outside this hotel.
I cannot answer for what happened that night, but I will tell you, as of right now, you're getting it from me that this is going to be a complete investigation, and you will get an honest answer backed with evidence. And that's the most important thing. The most important thing is, like I said, the information is good and it's important to the community. It's most important to the family, and that's our number one priority. It's got to be the family, not the community. Not that the community, what they need to know isn't important, but most important is the immediate family. That's how I feel.
Went from a cruise in the hotel to an employee to the crooked cops to when he showed up on the scene. Look how Leonora changed that tune. It was a bluff game, bro. Man, look. Leonora was playing, bro.
Y'all been connected with the lead detective on this case?
He's talked to the mom.
But they said that the police ain't telling them.
Your mom has spoken to our
They didn't tell my mama that they didn't tell her that she could review the images.
We also know that your mom was ill, and we have told her that when those are ready, we want her to come in first. She's going to be the first. She says,
was they able to tell us because the medical?
Just another reason why the police had to hold on to the surveillance footage. If you got Miss Teresa uploading bogus ass video with bogus timestamps on it, they gonna do the same thing when it comes to the surveillance footage. You see what I'm saying?
That was on duty at the time at the hotel, he said he was going to the back to call the police. Was the police able to tell him to tell us they wasn't able to come up here? We had to come to the station to do a missing police report?
I don't know about that.
No, I'm saying, is they able to do that? Is they able to tell us they can't come to the hotel to make my report? I have to come to them when I tell them that my sister was last seen here.
Now look. This is what exposed Leonora even more. Because everybody know about the real reason of that missing person report. It was already talked about between the hours of 4 and 5. Well, that's when it was in the system. They was telling them round about 2 something in the morning where you look. If you want to see some videos, you're going to need a missing person report. So that means Miss Teresa and them were questioning the video. They want to see a particular video that could criminate everybody. And the hotel was like, well, look, you're going to need a missing person report. So they're finna give them time to do some editing because Miss Teresa doing editing too. Right? So look, Miss Teresa and them doing editing too. That's why it would take the footage so long. So the police report was already in the making between the hours of 4 and 5. And you got the police there talking about missing cameras. Well, not missing camera, but cameras. So boom. So now check this out. If they talking about missing person report at 4 and 5 in the morning and about cameras in the basement, and this going on 6 o'clock, and an hour later, Miss Teresa calling, I was calling the hotel because my daughter came here last night with a gal, and I was calling to see can they check the cameras and see what I'm saying? Look.
Was they able to tell? Because you know what? He's still in the
happened
to the
that
hotel
night.
because he forgot to tell me to sign the paper.
I know
so
we did
still
come to the hotel. I don't know what time frame you're talking, but we did have officers here, and I believe then they conducted the search.
But he only, no, the first time the police officer, he only came back because he forgot to tell me to sign a missing person report. When you make a report, it's a paper you have to sign. He didn't tell me to sign it at the station. He told me that he called me evidence.
Check this out. If you never went to the police station to make a missing person report, that means they made the police report using the hotel address in the beginning. Because that's where they're going to be in the cover up. So once they recognize, like, damn, we need to upgrade this and use West Devon Avenue address on the missing person report, because we're going to need Living Over to come down here. You see what I'm saying? Hi, y'all. I'm body blowing them. Do that make sense why it was so much conflict about the missing person report? So when you see them showing up on the footage at 12 talking to Risco already had the missing person report. It was already in their hand. They just needed her to sign it. The cold part about it, check this out. They always say the last person that was last seen with her, or the last person that communicate with the murder victim, is usually be the person they last was in touch with. So boom. So if Leonora was perpetrating on the phone, acting like Kenneka, if I was the police, I'd make her sign her name on the missing person report instead of Miss Teresa, because she the one that had they got everybody thinking how she came out the room. You know what I'm saying?
That's
tampering with evidence.
We did enter your sister into the National Leads computer system for law enforcement around the country. We entered her immediately as a missing person. The form that you signed is simply saying, acknowledging that you know we did that, and that if a missing person ends up showing up in California, that you're gonna be the one to make the contact, and obviously if it's an adult, that you're gonna make contact. We'll tell you that we found them, and then we'll put you in contact with them. But that's all that the form that you were talking about is a release for entering a lead. We did enter her into the National Leads.
He came to the hotel for me to sign the paper, but he couldn't come to help me find my sister. He told me that's out his leave. That's the detective. That's the detective job to come and watch the cameras, but he still came here and did it. And they did not allow me to go back there with them when they did it the first time. But the second police let me, because once we came at nighttime, they let me go back there to identify my sister. The first police officer and the manager did not let me do it. They said,
boom. What you mean the first police officer and the manager? Hi, y'all. So there would be a police officer and the manager telling Leonora, nah, y'all can't see the body yet. Boom. Just like early that morning. Man, that lady said a co-worker supposed to woke her up. A co-worker? Who is the co-worker? Hold up, make it so bad. I got it. Look, I'm finna go King Rob shit.
Said they was not able to let me do it. So how come
again, the manager of the hotel doesn't work for me. I can't justify what he did or said. I can tell you that once we became involved and we started the investigation, and since then, the hotel their management, their upper management, have been 100% cooperative with us. They have released every bit of security tape they have. They have allowed.
And the reason she's asking all these questions now is that this is her first time having an opportunity to ask these questions. So this is the sister.
And that's the insurance lady. That's the insurance lady. They had life insurance over this girl, bruh. This the insurance lady. This is why she covering this shit.
She's asking these questions now because she's not had a chance to speak to anybody.
Right, ship. Everything is going per protocol, and you will be satisfied when we're done with our findings. That's all I want. That's all I want. That's all I want you to say.
Okay, well, what about this then, Melanie? What about what Miss Barbara talking about when she kept saying, I seen you there, Teresa, I'm glad you didn't put your hands on my... What they do. See, now organ trafficking and selling organs on the black market is a thing now. They wanted the younger body, but they took Ann Kidney. And that's why Miss Barbara got mad and came out with, that was my daughter in the freezer. That was my daughter that they, you know what I'm saying, that they killed and put in and buried. That's why Miss Barbara came out with that. Because Miss Barbara, they have did it before. Miss Barbara and them have did it before. And Teresa and them have did it before. They all Masons, y'all. This was a Mason move. Listen, this how much money.
Everything we give you will be backed by.
And look, and y'all don't believe when King Rob said this? Look. I'm finna go watch this. Y'all don't believe when King Rob, what he just said. So you don't believe this?
Hey y'all, what's good?
Organ harvesting people, bruh. Organ harvesting people.
That's what Kenneka went to. Oh, okay. No, not the organ pictures, but oh Lord. Oh Lord, the blood, donated blood. Oh, but not them, Lord Jesus, they go. Hey, Lord Jesus.
Teresa's gonna make money for the rest of her life. Y'all, Douglas Park was gonna be named after Kenneka. I think Douglas Park or one of them was gonna be named after Kenneka. It was gonna be a book, everything. She was gonna be getting money. Everybody got paid off that shit. Everybody got paid. And then they was gonna do the movie, but Chosen fucked the movie up when he started coming out because he was the inside motherfucker. Chosen was the motherfucker who did the whole thing, but he snaked them because Miss Barbara got greedy because Teresa Martin was getting more fame and all that shit than her. All them all them motherfucking freedom fighters, all that shit was phony. The protest wasn't even at the Rosemont. We proved that the protest was in Atlanta. The protest.
And look, he ain't lying because the protest look, they did do a protest at the Crown Plaza, but remind y'all, they threw that protest out. Miss Teresa called that protest off. Remind y'all of that. That's proven fact. But they all, look, when they did that, they was in Atlanta. And then they was in Arkansas. Then they was in Memphis doing the protest, bruh. Bro, these people were doing the protest. You could go on Straight Drop video when people were getting on Straight Drop like, hey man, you need to give the people back the money that you talking about a protest. Something about a scam or fraud or something. And he had to apologize. The video's still up. So Miss Teresa was tricking everybody because they was up a long video, just say like Jedediah video, just say like a protest video with just all of a sudden post. And you'd be like, damn, I thought the protest was over with. But in reality, it was over with. But on YouTube, on Facebook, you would swear it's going on because they'd be like, oh, they throwing the protest. You see what I'm saying? Look.
It was in Atlanta. At the Crown Plaza in Atlanta, the protest wasn't even there. We got footage out there where we went in the Crown Plaza. Walked all through that motherfucker. All right, yeah, I'm finna let y'all down. They finna get talk some real shit. Come on, let's go.
Right. Right what? wasn't Shemaya. Made the girl look like Shemaya.
You heard it. It wasn't Shemaya. I made the girl look like Shemaya, the other one. She made her look like Shemaya. It wasn't Shemaya. Y'all wasn't none of them in there. Y'all think that wasn't Irene on the first thing y'all.
Because mind you, he said 4 different lengths of hair. 2 straight hair. One was wet and wavy. And one was like a tight curl.
Did you hear? My girl D made 4 of the wigs. One was wet and wavy. Just like I told y'all last night. That's why y'all kept hearing Lenora said it. Yeah, it looked like her hair was wet. Because they wanted y'all to think they defrosted her up in there. Motherfucker, y'all knew already it had to be some bullshit when the defrosting, y'all. The defrosting. Come on, man. You no longer take the defrost the body. They talking about she was defrost. Then you got Pete Rico talking about, yeah, we defroster, froster, defroster, and froster again. Man, shut the fuck up. And so y'all defrosted the whole body and out. Then you got Andrew Holmes walking up out there talking, oh, it was hot as hell in there. It was hot. Yeah, because there wasn't no motherfucker in there. But that motherfucker y'all put in there, the fake girl, let's get it.
Can't at the end. I don't know if you understand that, but like a tight curl. I know what you're saying. Okay, yeah. What she need? What?
You said she needed what?
She needed 4 wigs.
Okay.
Was that one of the wigs chosen showed on that thing, Melanie? On this channel? That was being on the desk? Was that one of the wigs, the curly wig?
Yeah. It was a white wig.
Okay. Hey, Melanie, let me ask you one thing, Marco. Melanie, what do you think chosen part was in that whole thing? What was his part?
Well, that's what I was going to ask her.
How many chosen?
What did chosen do?
I believe the chosen did everything. From the
beginning, like what? What
part to the top to the bottom.
You say it again?
Like he was trying to get enrolled. I believe he was trying to get a position, like ranked or something. So he had to prove himself.
In the Masons, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
Are you a Mason?
Oh no, I'm not you.
Okay, now you can say,
Melody, when you say everything from day one, from the beginning to 6, what about? Well, Melody, I want to ask you about this. Did you ever see the X-ray? Did you ever see the X-ray machine chosen head down? I mean, that he showed, and he said Geneva Knox and Anthony Evans was in there.
Yeah.
What you think about that?
The bloody sheets and all that.
Yeah.
What's up with that?
I'm sorry, y'all.
You good, Melanie. I promise you. You good, Melanie. I promise you.
So chosen is there downstairs.
Straight drop was down there.
Me and chosen was face to face, like face to face, of course. He said that we need to do in position this and that. He was talking to some guy. I don't know that guy, but he was black as well. Kind of big, kind of like a stocky kind of guy. And he was talking to him like, we need to position this and position that. And this guy had like a big, huge bag. It looked like it had like equipment in it. And it was not real blood. It was fake. It was fake blood because it was a white chick.
What the fake blood? Well, I mean, what you mean? What does fake blood come in at?
And that was not a, what you said it was. Like, I was short or whatever. It was not nasty, but.
What was
it? It didn't look like it was. That thing was a pressing machine.
Right, so where the fake blood come in at?
The fake blood was all over the, like, towels.
Why would they have, well, what was the reason for having the fake blood all over the towels and stuff?
Because the movie.
Let me ask you this, Melanie, did someone die that night?
I believe that someone did. I believe few people did, actually. Do I believe that one of the ladies that I did make up the two ladies? No. Don't believe the other two that I never got to see? Yeah.
And there she go confirming that 2 ladies died that night. And there she go confirming it. And watch how I come back and slice. Watch how I come back and slice. Because Melanie felt comfortable because I told her, like, listen, because Marco kept trying to talk about that Joey Swag shit. That Joey Swag shit. So he wanted me to let Melody say that so he can keep pushing the Joey Swag shit and not telling motherfuckers that it's a movie / murder. That's why I kept saying, Marco, you confusing the subs. You gotta tell them that it's a movie / murder. He, oh no, bro, I'm just saying they shouldn't understand. You gotta tell them that. You just keep trying to tell them motherfuckers it's a movie that was for them. Now this is what I asked him.
And possibly, who you think that is?
That's what I'll be trying to figure out.
Did you do Kenneka makeup?
No.
So all they basically talking about is between the hours of 1 and 2. What you think Miss Teresa and them will be doing, and when if they actually killing the girl, right? They gonna have to, when they kill the girl, they gonna have to fix the girl up and stage the crime scene and everything. You see what I'm saying? No wonder why he would say Miss Teresa had make people that do makeup. Even if it was a girl on Miss Teresa page said this. I remember doing her hair and seeing all the marks on her body, like it would make sense. And these people connected to the funeral home. Watch this.
Did you see her there?
Oh, yeah, I think I was not seeing that. No. Or jumbled or whoever. Yeah.
Right, so you did the makeup on the girl that was playing Kenneka.
Right.
Do you think those other 2 girls could have been Geneva and Antonia Evans?
Yeah.
Bingo. Okay. Bingo. You heard her say Kenneka wasn't there. She didn't do no makeup on Kenneka. Wasn't no Kenneka there. And do you think those other 2 girls could have been Geneva Knox and Antonia Lavette Evans?
Now, when it come to King Rob, you got to cipher the truth and the lies out. You see what I'm saying? You got to filter all the garbage and keep the meat, you know what I'm saying, and toss the bones. Listen to this shit.
Yes. Because she know they was. Because she did the makeup. And that big dude, that's the big dude Chosen was always telling us about when they always said a big dude.
And remind y'all, Big Swole. This the person, when they contact, when Peas and them said, we thought she left with a dude. Remind y'all what was going down on September 6th. This how, won't this narrative would support Miss Teresa and Livernoira alone when they mentioned the parking lot, the hair all over her head, and she looked like she was fighting? If King Rob made this video 6 years ago, and I'm looking into this stuff, and I'm like, man, this shit really for real, what he was saying. Won't this narrative with support? And guess who he said who it was, or how she would get in the parking lot?
And got two girls up on Kenneka. Wasn't no Kenneka there. And do you think those other two girls could have been Geneva Knox and Antonia Levette Evans? Yes. Because she know they was. Because she did the makeup.
And that big dude, that's the big dude Chosen was always telling us about when they always said a big dude came in swinging on everybody. Swole, kind of stocky dude.
See, y'all know, and at the time, before we found Kendra leaving out the hotel with the big dude, I thought the big dude was, what's his name? I thought the big dude was, Rodney Stanton, because Rodney Stanton was in the hotel too. So the big dude was Big Swole, and they say Big Swole is dead now. Big Swole is the one who took Kendra home after she walked up that hallway acting like she was drunk and posed in that freezer. She posed in the freezer and did all, after she did that, did.
Was that Rodney Stanton? Where did this Rodney Stanton come from with Chosen brought up? Have you ever seen him before, Melanie?
Not before this. Before this, no.
Okay, well, what about this then, Melanie? What about what Miss Barbara talking about when she kept saying, I seen you there, Teresa, I'm glad you didn't put your hands on my baby?
Because, to be honest, Teresa was there.
Body blow, body blow, body blow. He's on fire. Body blow, body blow, body blow. Now there you have another one right there. I said, what is this? Miss Barbara kept telling us, and kept saying that, Teresa, I'm glad you didn't put your hand on my daughter. She said, cause to be honest, Teresa was there. And I'm going to go back and let you hear it again. So there's the mother who told you that her daughter was missing and she's down in the basement with the people who's playing the reenactors. And she's playing the reenactment, and who's telling her what to do is the police officer. Y'all remember the tall, skinny police officer who came out laughing when Frank showed Lenora and Teresa Martin and showed them the tape of them beating Alicia Flowers to death. Let me go back just a tad bit.
What was she doing? Yeah.
Miss Barbara talking about when she kept saying, I seen you there, Teresa, I'm glad you didn't put your hands on my baby.
Because, to be honest, Teresa was there. What was she doing? Yeah. They were telling them what to do. They were telling them what to say.
Who was telling them what to do and what to say?
A fake police officer down here, the tall guy.
Okay, now, right.
To the left, and then to the right.
No, who was that? No, and it wasn't nothing at the hotel. All that was staged that y'all seen at the hotel. The murder happened on the 6th. That was staged. Nobody was killed in that. She was killed at Frank's crematory. They took her from the I think the Doubletree. I think they took her from the Doubletree that night and took her to Frank's crematory. She never went to the Crown Plaza. She was never in there. She was killed on the 6th at the Doubletree. And it connects right to the Crown Plaza. And it's an underground tunnel that goes right from the Crown Plaza to the Doubletree. Or which one is that? The Doubletree or the Marriott? I think it's the Doubletree. No, she was never in that hotel. Everything you seen that night was staged. It was.
Now look, everything with Kenny Robb telling y'all how they were tampering with the body. That's why the news said she was roaming the halls for an hour. If you listen with Kenny Robb, this what they will be doing for an hour and a half. Do that make sense now?
It's fake. Everything you seen that night was fake. If you would have seen Kenneka, aka that's what the mother's name named her. They named her Kenneka, y'all, after Miss Barbara bought those twins from Pittsburgh. They named them Kenneka and Kenny. So
now check this out. If you look at the Barbara situation, now I made a video about that. And guess what? The discovery that I made with the Barbara, put it like this here, right? I don't know the full narrative. I'm going to be real. I don't know the full narrative. But one thing I do know, that what I found out, I believe Barbara Evans is related. I ain't gonna say I believe, I know. Barbara Evans is related to the Jenkins. And guess who Barbara Evans would be related to? The Fowlers. And if they all related, that means the Fowlers gonna be related to the Jenkins family. And that's where the missing twins at, with their own relatives. And that explains why King Rob was talking like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if that's true, but it's something with that Patricia Fowler case, cause I would have never believed it until the news responded. And when the news responded, I went back on Kenneka Facebook page. Kenneka wasn't posting no pictures for at least 4 to 5 years. The last pictures Kenneka actually was taken when she was in her teen, like she was 15 and 16. After that, no more pictures. That's when you go back to the Patricia Fowler case, cause they done picked the case up, cause the co-worker, the new caseworker was like, don't you got more kids? So that means the old caseworker had to been in on the plot the whole time to let it ride. So that's when the FBI got involved, and that's how, check this out. Look, Kenneka was in Atlanta, bro, when they was infants, when they was in Atlanta, raised up in Atlanta. They moved to Chicago when they was in they teens. That's why when you see all those pictures with Kenneka and them the first people she met when she went to Chicago. You know what I'm saying? And enrolled in school and all of this old stuff. She met her family members, and you know what I'm saying? And Monique for them, people that ain't family, but they friends of the family. And Kenneka stopped posting. So she stopped taking pictures, and guess what the girl was doing? Reminiscing of videos when she was 12, 11 years old. I miss these days like she was on lockdown or something. You see what I'm saying? So when I was like, oh, I see what's going on. The reason why the girl reminiscing, because she don't want to leave the west side of Chicago. If the feds find out who she really is, this way I'm thinking, find out who she really is, she gonna be like, man, these people finna take me away from y'all. You see what I'm saying? That's how the way I'm looking at the situation. Cause they kept a close eye on the girl. The girl did not go outside of the west side. Man, that girl only took pictures on the block. She never took no pictures at us. You know what I'm saying? Nowhere else but on the west side, hanging on the block. I mean, you ain't never went to a mall and took pictures of some shoes or something, or lay your outfit out, or you know what I'm saying? None of that, no more pictures. Then King Rob say this stuff.
If you would have seen Kenneka, you only seen her one time in that whole footage, and that's the footage that Fed got where she's limping. If you would have seen Kenneka, you would have seen her walking funny because one leg is longer than the other. Just look at the front of the thumbnail. Go get those pictures and look at all her pictures where she got that same leg out like that, and if she straightened it up, she'll go in the air. Because one leg is longer than the other from a birth defect while she was a twin.
Okay. All right, Melanie, who hired y'all for this stuff? Okay, you. Okay, do you know how the other people that got involved?
She said she wasn't part of it. Try to hear, I wasn't part of it.
Yes, I am. Where the? Okay, who's paying you? Are you getting me? But are you? Did you just take? I'm not even paying at one time. Okay, so you got paid one time, and that's it. You're not getting monthly pay.
See, because a lot of them is getting monthly checks, like Zaria, when she said she getting her residuals from a movie, and like
Zaria. Get residual for the movie Zaria. The one I made a moderator. No wonder why she snuck in on Trey Game, made a moderator, and completely tried to destroy the group.
Kenneka was talking about she waiting on that movie money to come in, and like Zach was saying, he got the movie coming. A lot of them was getting paid monthly through Everipedia and their new gold chips. Yes. Come on, let's get it.
Okay. That's great. Okay. We got paid cash, right. Well, right, we know that. You like the fourth person that told us we're the third person that told us they was paid in cash. And we knew that they was paying in cash. Teresa even got paid in cash that night.
Did y'all see how Marco tried to play that off that day? Y'all see how Marco tried to play it? Marco, Teresa even got paid the cash that night. She was like, I wouldn't put it past him because she was saying, Marco, you know she got paid in cash that night just like you. Oh, bingo. Body blow, body blow, body blow.
Told you, King Rob just got to telling on everybody. Look, check this out. So make a long story short, this the news lady. This straight drop broad right here. He wasn't lying. When he said they lied to the world, check this out, look. This the cold part about it, bruh. Speaking of Patricia Fowlers, look. This lady that's standing behind her, this Patricia Fowler kids be at this lady's house. That's what King Rob exposed. Yeah. Look into her and Anisha Fowlers. Look. At the protest. Look at him. So look, here it go right here. This Anisha Fowlers. This Patricia Fowler's daughter. This who the son be contacting. This her at Kenneka funeral. Look. If you go back to Patricia Fowler, she had a daughter that don't deal with her no more. She cut tie with her mama and moved with other family in Chicago. That's who the son be contacting and keeping in touch with the twins. You confused? Man, I'm through talking about this shit, bro. This shit so fucking deep. Look, I'm through talking about this shit, bro. Man, I'm so through talking about you still don't get it now? Bro, you still don't get this shit now. You still don't get this shit now? I mean, you don't get none of this stuff. Come on, man. Him. Watch this. I got a video of him The reason why people confused, you ain't even looked into it. I'ma just let people be confused. You see what I'm saying? You will never, check this out. You will never figure this bitch. You'll never figure none of this shit out. Why he pointing out this sucker on the footage? Him. You don't even know who he is. Look. Nobody don't look up none of this shit. No wonder why everybody confused. Who this supposed to be? Look. Bro. Don't forget. This how I know it. The Patricia Fowler's got to be some type of truth. It's a lady right now on Miss. This the last time I'ma ever mention this lady again. Cause apparently nobody don't give a fuck. Her name is Nikita Bradley. Something like that. She on Miss Teresa Friend page, right? And I'm finna shut this junk down, right? I'm finna shut it down when I say this. Look. Y'all remember this lady? Hold on. Check this out. This the same insurance lady. Watch this shit crazy, bro. Right here. Same insurance lady. This a life insurance lady. Watch this. This is her. Why King Rob talking about her? Do anybody know? Explain it to him in my chat. I'm the only one that can break this shit down to you, bruh. Hold on. You got King Rob bringing up this lady. And y'all know this lady following me real close. Yeah, she on my friend list. I guess nobody don't want to know what this bitch role is. But yeah, y'all, I'm gonna get on out of here. You know what I'm talking about? Man, Trey ain't love y'all, man. Y'all be cool and y'all be safe. You know what I'm talking about? I might go live later on, you know what I'm talking about, hype up my channel a little bit and switch the content up a little bit, gang, and put some spice on it. But until then, I'll be back, goddammit. Hold on. Matter of fact, since he mentioning her and nobody wanna know who this lady here is. All right. And then look, I'm gonna let everybody be confused on this lady. Guess who she is? Boy, y'all finna see why he got all of this stuff on this page. Where that John at? Where that video at? Right here. Insurance lady. Matter of fact,
bring the little bitch to the hotel party and they got her ass.
Originally, that party
from what I understand, the information that was handed to me from these people from Chicago, not the ones you see here, not these Chicago people, but what I got from Chicago is that that going away party was a party for Kenneka. I mean, that going away party was a party for Kenneka because she was supposed to be put in a witness protection program because she was setting up a lot of people. Now, mind you, that insurance policy is still there. You know, now that Kenneka is going away and it's going to be in this witness protection program, now her mom said, "Hey, go set her up. We go knock her off." This is her own mother. And I ain't trying to, I hate that I have to say this. Like I said, there's going to be some things that, you know, that you're going to dislike for me to say. It's all right over there. That you're going to dislike for me to say. It's hard for me to say this. This is not my information. I'm just the middleman passing it through. Now, this is another scenario that we got to explore. We got to fact check. We got to look at and just look at it. You know what I'm saying? So now we have, okay, let's recap real quick. We have Kenneka setting up somebody. We got Kenneka getting caught up in some shit. You know what I'm saying? And now she got to be a part of this witness protection program and be hidden. Her mom knows that she had that. Mom knows that she have an insurance policy. She want to collect on that insurance policy and possibly double up on her kidneys because they do have a black market out there.
Plaza, and I went in again. I looked for the freezer. I went to the lower level. I'm still trying to locate that freezer, but every time I go in with you guys, as you can see,
she even said she went down there to the freezer in the lower level.
I don't have a signal, so that's why I can't take you guys in with me. But this is day number 2 that I've been looking for the freezer. But of course, when you're down there rambling around, they want to know what you're down there for, what you're doing. So I'm gonna try and put the spotlight on some of the protesters. I'm gonna get out and interview a couple of them. Y'all know how I am with the VIP parking. So let's just see what's happening here. We got people going on. They're out here. They're protesting. They're not playing about it. I'm gonna give these people a chance to go around.
From me, that this is going to be a complete investigation, and you will get an honest answer back
already, and she got something to hide.
Most important, like I said, the information is good and it's important to the community. It's most important to the family, and that's.
They have a black market for kidneys, hearts, arms, legs, or whatever body part there is for that person to get money for.
So all these things that she's involved in will only blocks out what happened. You know?
And so that means that Kenneka's mother would double up on so much money. First, she gets the insurance policy. She get paid from that because now she's dead. And then now she can sell her organs to the black market. And then now she can possibly, and this is a far-fetched, she can possibly sell the 2 organs to Selena Gomez. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to just throw that in there. So all that money is coming around. You know what I'm saying? Because Kenneka's mother supposed to be this bitch.
And sued the hotel for neglect. This lawsuit was never about Kenneka. It was just about neglect. They don't lock freezer doors. Boom. We'll be back.